today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the next 10 days of the upcoming weather. It's going to be a roller coaster. Okay, we have some unusual things happening actually today and tomorrow as we're speaking. We also have 4th of July coming up. There will be some implications there that we're going to talk about. So much to go over. It's very exciting, and I really just hope that everybody is having a good 4th of July holiday time frame. I hope everybody had a great weekend and has great plans for the upcoming 4th of July. Very exciting stuff here on this Independence Day. Now, I must mention that we do have our prestige weather where we have our early access to the fall forecast available. That will be coming out in the coming days, maybe about a week from now, something in that time frame on the channel, of course. But if you want to get that early access, you can check it out on the Prestige Weather. We're also doing some weather consulting ahead of the 4th of July. So if you do have plans and want some one-on-one weather opinions, go ahead and check it out in the pinned comment and description down below. Now, we're taking a look at the last 30 days, and this is something I've been doing for a while now, and I want to continue doing this, and I'll let you know why. And it's because it really gives us some good insight into how things have been, and that gives you a really good foundation to start from as you look at what's upcoming. We can compare to that. It's just good overall. So I want to make this a trend, and I really don't want to ever stop doing this. We might even add the precipitation anomalies. I think that's a great idea, actually, so that we can see how the precipitation has been as well. Let me know in the comments down below how useful you find this as far as just the context of the video, but I think it's extremely helpful in my opinion. But it's hard when I know my stuff about weather. Obviously, it's hard for me to gauge maybe the people that don't know quite as much what would be interesting or not. So let me know down below what you think of that. I have been doing it for a long time though, so I'm sure you guys have enjoyed it. As we can see later on today on the 3rd of July, I don't know why this got so small right there, but we can see that that is a pocket in there of some pretty active weather, some scattered about thunderstorms happening here on this Monday, July 3rd. I know a lot of people actually have fireworks today on July 3rd, but tomorrow we can see that this pocket here in particular is going to be an area to watch closely for some impacts and really some things that are going to hinder that activity. And any outdoor activities you might have, we're going to have to watch closely in this area. So you guys, especially if you live in this circle, would find Prestige Weather very useful, I have to mention. A couple of interesting things happening out west. First off, we have some scattered about showers and thunderstorms in here, but if you look very closely, there is some snowfall in here for Wyoming and Montana in early July. So officially, some July snowfall expected here. I actually would like to take a look. It's probably going to switch which model run we're on, so we're going to have to do a lot here. But I want to take a look at, this will be even better. There we go. So we can see right here that snowfall in this pocket here for a couple of mountain ranges there. The blue popping up, maybe even here as well. So there is some snow happening. Very interesting stuff, especially for me. I don't know how interesting it actually is. Again, my perspective is a little different, but to me, it's really cool. As we can see, as we're moving towards Wednesday, July 5th, so we will be done with the 4th of July. My family's still gonna have stuff going on. As July 5th is my dad's birthday, so everybody say happy birthday, Direct Weather's dad, in the comments. He does watch every single video, so he would love that. We can see that there is some thunderstorm activity happening in here in the Great Lakes and the Great Plains. Here, we can see for the Gulf states some more activity down here, so it's not going to slow down anytime soon, to say the least. We are going to see this activity actually continue. Matter of fact, Thursday, July 6th here, we can see some scattered about thunderstorm activity here for Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida. Everywhere is dealing with these thunderstorms and showers, and right over top of it we have another system, so we'll call this pocket here number 1, and over here is pocket number 2. It's hard this time of year because, as you can tell, it's not like individual storms, it's more just like pockets of activity. The fall, wintertime, and springtime are so much easier to track things because it's all these organized low pressure systems moving across the nation, and that makes things so much easier. I cannot express to you guys how much easier that makes things. That is a really easy time of year. By the time we're reaching Friday the 7th here, so the next weekend, we can see this activity continues for these areas. Here we see back in the Rockies and Plains, we also have some activity up there. So definitely more folks up there dealing with it. Saturday the 8th here, we are going to be dealing with the East Coast, especially a little bit of the deeper south in the Gulf Coast here. Still dealing with these thunderstorms, so we're going to look at the precipitation in a minute, but you can kind of pick up on probably what that's going to look like. This area is going to be dealing with above average activity. Same story actually here in the upper Midwest where I'm drawing the arrow right now. They have seen pretty consistent activity here during this model run as well. Let's just keep this going. Sunday here on the 9th, we can see a little bit of a low, so it does happen from time to time. We can see Michigan here on the lower peninsula. We do have this low happening here, and that is bringing quite a bit of activity with it around, probably more thunderstorms, of course. Monday, this kind of raises up into eastern Canada there, where those fires have come from. Those fires, I think, have been mostly in this area here. It's kind of moved past that region, but we see that this is bringing thunderstorm activity down for New England, the mid-Atlantic as well. And then we have this kind of next system all ready for the upper Midwest. So really, really just not slowing down anytime soon. Tuesday, the 11th here, we could see a system up here over the Great Lakes that is bringing a lot of the low pressure for the area. We do have a secondary low here as well, and all of this is just coming together to bring even more activity. So maybe after the upcoming weekend, we're going to be taking a look at an early week system moving through that we're taking a look at here, and that is going to be something to watch for. Wednesday the 12th here, which will be our final day on the model run, we can see that these systems kind of tandem here. Secondary low down here, primary low here. This just means that this one's the stronger of the two. This one's kind of the mother system, and this one's kind of its child that's following along, kind of just being dragged across the nation there, kind of like you see like a mother dragging her kid through the grocery store. It's a little bit like that, what we see happening here, and it's all bringing impacts. It's like the kid is throwing a tantrum, the mother's freaking out. That is what's happening here. So just to put it in layman's terms there. I don't know how professional that was, but whatever. As we move into the total precipitation here, we can see that a lot of the systems are going to be moving in from here. We see quite a bit of them move up into Canada as we saw. And this just brings impacts underneath for everybody. And again, east of this line here, not going to be a straight line, but east of this region, we're basically taking a look at above average activity over the next 10 days. These are already areas that have seen so much activity over the course of June, so we are just going to be adding on to that number. Really, really crazy stuff, like I mentioned earlier, in the upcoming pattern. The temperatures here are going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. In the southeast, we do have this little bit of a southeast ridge here, bringing far above average temperatures for many different folks. Definitely taking a look at above average temperatures, to say the least. I think it's like 97 here in Virginia, as we're going to be dealing with officially a heat wave, which, by the way, for the record, 3 days in a row, over 90 is the threshold for an official heat wave. So if you're ever curious, is this a heat wave? Is it not? That's the number to look for. 3 days in a row, over 90 puts you at heat wave status, and we've certainly seen that after tomorrow, I think, which is going to be 90s as well. We will have seen 3 days plus in a row. Then we get this little bit of a horseshoe pattern here happening. And really what's the catalyst for this is this positive PNA out here, which means warmer temperatures for this western North America region. We call that PNA for short, so positive when it's warm, negative when it's cold. And what this does is it causes this warm air to really surge up the Canadian Rockies there, and we're seeing cold air be basically thrown to the east here as it's trying to kind of counteract what's happening out there. And then we also have this ridge still for the east, so it really funnels it all into the central United States. And actually these greens here are far below average temperatures. This is 10 to 15 degrees below normal, so really, really a big time pattern here that we see. It doesn't last long though, as we see a lot of this cold stretches eastward. I think the one thing that does last very long is this positive PNA, as this looks to stick around. We're already looking at July 11th, better yet here, and this is still causing cold air, not only for the central United States now, but we see this taking aim at these areas that have already seen so much cold this summer for the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. Really, really crazy stuff here, guys. Certainly looking like a very interesting pattern, to say the least. And that all kind of shifts eastward, as you can see. By this point, most of the cooler temperatures are in this pocket here, and they look to stick around, just like this positive PNA looks to stick around and maybe even expand over time as we're approaching the midpoint of the month here, the 15th of July. This is really, really looking intense, guys. And as we can see, by the time we reach the end of the model run, which will be the 18th of July, we still have blues over here indicating below normal temperatures. Really, really a crazy pattern. And this looks a lot more like what our July forecast is right here. So very validating to see that coming together. Really, really looking like that was on point for sure. Anyway, be sure to check out the Prestige Weather again for you guys' 4th of July plans. We will have some consulting up there. We have the early access to the fall forecast, and very soon we're going to be releasing the early access to that winter forecast as well. So be sure to check it out in the description and pinned comment down below. Be sure to also subscribe for daily uploads just like this one, as we do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.